Hi there. So this video is all about our ShadowSense and how amazing and versatile they are. So they, like all of our other makeup, are budge proof, smudge proof and water resistant, and they are also anti-aging, so they contain our skincare. Okay, so even though they are a shadow, you can actually use them for so many applications on your face because of their formulation. So it's not like a normal shadow, you know, that you're just dipping into with a brush. These are creamy, gorgeous shadows that come in a tube, which another thing I love about that too is that they are so hygienic because you don't keep dipping that brush into the same shadow, you know, like a pot shadow. So it's so hygienic and fresh every time you use them. Okay, so different applications that you can use them for. You can actually, we have shades that you can use as concealer, you can use as highlighter, you can obviously use them as shadows, you can use them in your brows, you can use them as a contour. So we've got like darker colors and lighter colors for using for contour. You can use them as blush. You can use them as lipstick even. So as, you know, a quick replacement instead of using lip sense for the day, you can actually use the shadows. So I'm just going to show you a few applications on my face using only the shadows, just so you can see how versatile it is. Okay, so first thing I do before I do my actual eyes is I do my brows. Okay, so for brows, my perfect shade is actually two of our shadows mixed together. So these are two matte shadows. So we have matte shadows and we also have shimmer shadows, and we even have some glitter shadows. So some of them are regular range and some of them are limited edition. Okay, the two that I use for my brows are actually regular range matte shadows. So that is Mocha Java, which is a gorgeous brown shade, and Smoked Topaz, which is kind of like a slate color. Okay, so I have a palette, which is actually an old CD or an old DVD. That's all you need. They make a perfect palette. And I put a little bit of each shade on my palette. Okay, so I've got a little bit of Mocha Java. These tubes, like everything, okay, so I'm always saying it, all of our products are very concentrated and you don't need to use much. So one of these tubes lasts you a long time. So depending on how many applications you're using them for, you can easily get 12 to 24 months out of a tube of our shadow. And especially if you have a few different colors and a few different shades, you may not be using the same one every day, so that's going to last longer. Okay, so I have a brow brush for my brows, so it's a little angled, slanted little brush on one end and the brow brush on the other. So give my brows a little brush. Okay, now I'm going to have to look in my mirror over here as well, or behind me. Okay, so I may not be looking at you for the whole time. So with brows, you don't need to panic so much about getting them exactly the same on each side, because as we say, brows are sisters, not twins. Okay, but you do need to learn about brow mapping, but that would be another instruction video for you. Okay, because I am just showing you shadows today. Okay, so bear with me. Could be that one of them goes on perfectly and the other one doesn't want to play the game, but let's see. Okay, so I start up towards the middle of my brow so that I don't get a big chunk of color on the edge here, and then I can go back and blend it. Okay, I always have some cotton tips next to me as well, because if you do make a little bit of a boo-boo and you go over, You can easily fix it. That's what's great about the shadows as well, is you do get time to fix anything that you need to fix, or blend a little bit more, add a little bit more color before it actually sets. So it takes like 5 to 10 minutes to actually set, but I can tell you that once those shadows have set, they are not budging for the whole day. So I actually do the markets some days, and when I do the markets I get up really early, so my makeup goes on at about 6 a.m. in the morning. I do my markets in summer here. I live in North Queensland, so in summer it's really hot. Quite a lot of the time, even though it's freezing cold at the moment, a lot of the time it's hot, so I stand there with my makeup on and I'm sweating, and you know, when it's hot, my makeup still stays perfect. So get home early afternoon, and then I've got the rest of the day, and then if I don't take my makeup off until sort of 9 or 10 that night, it's still there, it's still perfect. The shadows might have faded a tiny bit, hardly at all, but they just don't budge. It's awesome. And then because it's water resistant as well, like if you get caught in a rainstorm or you decide you want to go for a swim, hot day in the afternoon, you don't have to worry that you have our makeup on because it's water resistant. So you can go and have that dip to cool down, you come out, and your makeup will be still perfect. So brows are really important too, because they actually frame your face. You can see already, just, you know, when I put one brow on, how much difference that actually made to my face. So I've managed to get my brows to a point now where I've got them in a good shape, where they've actually been mapped out to suit my eyes. So I can kind of just shade in my brows now with the shadows to get them looking perfect. Okay, this is the longest part of putting my makeup on, I find, is doing my brows. But once they're done, everything else is so quick. Okay, so yeah, those two colours together, so I find that they're the perfect shade for me. And they do suit a lot of skin tones, and a lot of people do, because I do a lot of makeovers, and quite often these are the two shades that I will use. So Smoked Topaz and Mocha Java, matte colours. Okay, so that's my brows. I actually played the game today, but if you need to, you can just get your cotton tip and just fix any little spots where you might have gone over. I'm just going to fix a tiny bit here. To try and match it up a little bit more with the other side. There we go. Okay, so brows done. Okay, next is my shadows. Okay, so shadows I am going to use, I'm just going to wipe my palettes clean. Okay, I'm going to put a matte shade on the bottom of my lids, because a matte shade is really good, and if you're adding any shimmer or glitter shadows, they tend to adhere to your eyes even better. They do adhere awesomely anyway, but even better if you've got like a matte shade underneath. So one of my faves is a regular shade, which is Sandstone Pearl. So it's a good one because it doesn't really interfere with other colours that you're going to put on your face. So it's kind of a light creamy shade, that one there. And I just one, I have a few double-ended brushes. Disappeared on me, I've got so many brushes here. Okay. Okay, so just going to put that. I'm actually going to put it all the way up to my brow because it is a lighter colour. I've got another shadow that I'm going to use as a highlighter. But yeah, because this is a light shade, you can, and you can't see it all that much, you can go right up under your brow with it. So I kind of find that like a bit of a concealer for my eyelids as well, using that Sandstone Pearl first, or any lighter kind of matte shade. We've got a few. Okay, and then I am going to use, so a combination of some regular shades and limited edition. So one of my favorites at the moment is Mauve Shimmer, which is a limited edition. So it may not always be available. Limited editions are only available, obviously, while stocks last. So you've got to get in quick if you would love a mauve shimmer. It's like a, obviously, as the name suggests, it's a mauvey kind of shade, but it's shimmery as well. So it's just really, really pretty. Okay, that's the one I am going to put. I am going to put it on my lids. And just up into the crease. See that shade? And with that, so you, I mean, start with less. Less is more with our shadows because they're so pigmented. Start with less, and if you need, you can just build and add more to it. And then you're not actually wasting any of your shadow as well. That, you know, if you put too much out on your palette and you don't need it, you're gonna waste it. Okay, Mauve Shimmer. And then one of my other favorite colors, which used to be a limited edition but is now in our regular range, is Candied Coco Shimmer, a gorgeous shimmery brown shade. So not a really dark one either when it goes on. So that one I'm going to use in the crease and into a V on the edge of my eyelids. If you want to put our shadows on really quickly, you can too. Like if you're doing a quick makeup day, which we do actually show you as well. We've got some great products to do a really quick makeup. If you just want to put it on and get out of the door, you can put these on with your fingers if you want to. Like you're not doing it on someone else, so that's okay. It's just you, so make sure your hands are really clean, of course, before you do that. Or because these have got a little brush like that, you can actually dab onto your eyes a tiny bit, like a dab on there, and then just blend it with your brush. So that's another quick way to do it. So I'll show you that. I'm going to eat a little bit in the crease and a little bit on the V at the edge, and you can blend it that way. Okay, so just those two colours, I guess we've got three because we've got Sandstone Pearl underneath. They're really nice just for like a daytime shades, but if you want to go a bit more bold, you can add a darker color too. Or if you want to change it, because these last all day, you've done makeup for the day and you're going out that night, you don't have to take all your makeup off and start all over again. You can build to these shadows. So even though they've been on there all day, you can add more shades and turn it from a day look into a night look. So gorgeous color we've got at the moment in limited edition is French Roast. Okay, and this is a dark sort of reddy brown shade. We have a shade called Garnet too in our regular range, which is similar, but the French Roast is a bit deeper and a little bit more brown than the Garnet. Okay, so this is one of my favorites for making a bold look when I'm using those brown kind of shades, or pinky and brown, because pink and brown seem to go really lovely together. So that's, you can see that there, that's French Roast. Okay, and I'm just going to dab onto the edge, and you can build this. So again, start with left, don't start with a big blob on your eye because it might be too much. You can just build it. You can see that's just made a little bit more dramatic and bold just by putting that a little bit of darker on the edge. Gone up onto into my crease a little bit too. Up on my brow bone. There we go. Okay, so that's your shadows with the ShadowSense. Okay, another thing you can do with them is you can actually use them as an eyeliner. Okay, so we have awesome, we have different products for lining your eyes. So we have liquid eyeliners, we have pencil eyeliners, which are actually my fave. These came out not so long ago. So awesome, and because they're waterproof as well and budge proof, they're totally amazing. But just for something different, if you want to, you can choose any shade of our ShadowSense and use it as a liner. And even like one of the ones you've been using already, if you pick the right shade, you've got one that you can use for a few things. So French Roast, for example, you could be using as contour. So I'm not actually doing a contour. Oh, actually I might do a little bit under my cheekbone with the French Roast. But yeah, that would be, because it's darker shade, it's a good one to use for contour. I've got it on my eyes, and then you could double up and also use it as a liner for this look as well. So let's do that. Okay, I'm just going to wipe my palette. Okay, so French Roast, and I have, you can either use a little angled brush like the one that was used for the brows, or I have a little angle brush here which has got a little thin brush on the end of it, which is great for lining. Okay, so French Roast, I'm not going to do a wing above my eye, I'm just going to go under my eye, but you can definitely do wings with the shadows as well. And you'll be amazed, just that little bit of liner just opens up your eyes. Kapow! You can see the difference between the two. And I don't go all the way across. Sometimes I do. I'm very lucky because my eyes are kind of open. They're not, you know, I haven't got hooded eyes. I haven't got small eyes. So I'm lucky I can go all the way across. But depending on your eye shape and the size of your eyes, where they're placed, etc., etc., sometimes it's not good to go all the way across because it can make your eyes look smaller and more closed in. Okay, so that's what I do, go about 3/4 of the way across. So then of course you could, this is a really good brush for it too, you could go on top as well and do a little wing if you want to do a wing. Okay, but that is liner with the shadows. Okay, another thing you can use them for is blush. Okay, so first I'll do a little bit of a contour with that French roast. So under my cheekbone, if you suck your cheeks in like that, you can feel also where your cheekbones are. So your contour is going to go underneath your cheekbone. Sometimes I just use my blush and I do my blush underneath as my contour, and I do a bit of highlighting on my cheekbone. So, you know, there's different ways that you can do your blush. Okay, I'm going to use the Mauve Shimmer. So here's another, you know, double up, awesome. Get the Mauve Shimmer, use it on your eyes, and it's so pretty, and it's also an amazing color to use as blush as well. And we have a fair few colors the same that you can do that with. Okay, so the Mauve Shimmer, and I'm going to grab, oh, hang on, I got to do my contour first with the French roast. Okay, so I have a cool little brush here, which actually comes in one of our skincare, with one of our skincare products, but it's an awesome contour brush because of the angle of it, and it's actually thin. Okay, so I still got a bit of French roast on here. Actually, I'm going to put a little bit extra. Okay, so suck it in, and you're going to go from the top. So just this, remember this is contour, so this is just highlighting your cheekbones. There's all sorts of areas to do contouring, but we're not talking about contouring today. But basically the dark actually pushes in, and the light that you use for contour brings out. Okay, so you want to make your cheekbones look more prominent, so you're putting a darker shade underneath to give that effect, that underneath is pushing in and it's making above protrude out more. It's not really doing that, but that's the effect that it actually has. Okay, and then I have a brush to blend, so a little kind of blush blending brush, because you don't want to have that big line on your face, and blend that in. But we have some great, you know, shades of foundation and color correcting tinted moisturizer that you can use as contour as well. But this is just showing you another option for the shadows, because they are so versatile. Okay, you got to blend it until you haven't got that line. Okay, so now you can see that it's actually highlighting my cheekbones more. Okay, and then I'm going to get my Mauve Shimmer, and my blush brush, this one here, and you're going to start up here so you don't have a big blob of colour down here. You start up near your hairline and colour onto your cheekbones. Again, start with a little and you can add to it. If you start with too much, you may make yourself look like a clown, and we don't want that. Okay, so this is why this palette is really good, because you can kind of tap it on there, you know, get the little bit that you need on there first, and then put it onto your cheeks. Just want a little bit of colour. Okay. There's your blush. Okay, we also have some shades that are really awesome for highlighting. You can even go a little bit more with the highlight higher up on your cheekbone, and that highlights your cheekbones even more. You can actually put some highlight under here, under your eyebrow, and that makes your eyes pop more and stand out more. So we've got a few shades good for highlighting. One I'm loving at the moment is Buttercup Shimmer, but we have a really awesome regular color. If ever any of these aren't available anymore, you can move to your regular shades or any limited editions that we have out at the moment. But a great regular shade you can use is Sandstone Pearl Shimmer. So I use the Sandstone Pearl matte under my eyes to begin with, but there's a shimmer shade of Sandstone Pearl too, which is a really good highlighting one. Okay, so if this one's not available anymore, that's an alternative option for you. Okay, so Buttercup Shimmer. It's a bit of a yellowy kind of shade, but it doesn't look really yellow when it goes onto your face. Okay, I have another, actually I'm going to save that for my light highlighting. I'm just going to use the same brush, and I put a little bit on your cheek, right up there on your cheekbone, and it adds this little bit of a shimmer. You can see that as a highlighter. Make sure it's blended. I even use my fingers for this too. And you have that little bit of a shimmer, and then you can add a little bit under your brow, tiny bit on the edge, right under your brow. And blend. And you can see that little shimmer there too. Okay, so remember guys, this is all shadows. We have products for these particular applications. You know, we have blush scents, we have eyeliners, we have brow scents for your brows. So we have all of these things, but you can also do it with the shadows. Okay, the other thing, we're almost done here. I have something missing, but that will be another video. But the other thing that I said is, if you want to, you can actually use the shadows as a lippy. So especially if you're in a hurry, you've just done one of those quick makeups and you've put one, maybe two shades of shadow on your eyes just really quickly, and maybe you have the mauve shimmer, which is what we've been using. This is gorgeous. Just put a little bit on your lips. So it's not actually budge proof like the lip sense, so it's more like putting a gloss on. So our glosses, they're really moisturizing, and they're the ones that go over the top of the lip sense to provide the moisture for your lips, and they soak through and moisturize your lips without breaking the lip sense color down. So a shadow is kind of like that, because it's not the budge proof part of it, same as the gloss, but feels amazing just like a gloss too, and so moisturizing. And if this is your one too, like, you can either use a little lip brush, or again, this brush is awesome, just put it straight onto your lips. Ta-ta, and you have a little bit of color on your lips. So that is Mauve Shimmer. Okay. That is the versatility of all of our shadows. So as I said, there's even more things you can do with it. Before you put your foundation on, you can use it as concealer, or you can do concealer over the top of foundation too. And all of those other things that I mentioned. Okay, so check out the shadows, guys. There'll be more information in the launch, in the group, about this and about all the shades of shadows that are available. So you'll see an album for regular shadow shades, and you'll see an album for the limited editions Okay, so check out what's available. They are $32 each, and as I said, because they last 12 to 24 months and you only use a tiny bit of them, and they're so versatile and you can use them for so many things on your face, they are well worth every penny of the $32 each. And the thing I love too is you're not getting stuck with a palette of colors that you don't use. So sometimes if you buy a palette and it might have, say, 12 colors in it, and you only use 2 or 3 of them because they're your favorites and the other ones just sit there. So that's kind of a waste to me. So with ours, because it's one color in a tube, you choose the shades that you actually love, and you haven't got any there that you're actually wasting, and you get to use all of them. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for more application and tip videos. Okay, thanks, bye. Hey there, I'm back quickly. Just a quick add-on to this video. I just want to show you guys now, because I've had about 5 minutes for the colors to set, to show you how budge proof it is. Okay, so remember I've got that darker color as well, the French Roast on my eye. I'm rubbing. I'm going to show you my finger. Nothing on my finger. Same on the other side. Nothing. And what I've just realized as well, some of the older shadow shades that I used to use, if I put them on as lippy, so they were, you know, not as budge proof. As I said, not as budge proof as the lippy, but this one I've actually put the Mauve Shimmer on and I can rub on it and nothing is coming off. So it is very much like the Lip Sense too. And you can even put a little bit of gloss, so the glossy gloss or any of the other shades of gloss over that to add some more moisture into your lips. I'm really loving that as a lip shade. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. See you again soon. Bye.